The real question for this video is, are my cat eyes sharp enough to kill a man? Taylor Swift now owns the masters to her entire catalogue. And of course, this is great news, inspiring for musicians and artists around the world. But what does this mean for the future of the music industry? Are things going to change, and how does this affect smaller independent musicians like me, or maybe even you? Hello everyone, and you are very welcome back to another video. My name is Amy, I'm a musician, I play guitar and I sing, and I make videos that consist mostly of cover songs, guitar content, vlogs, and I also just really enjoy talking about music related things and or Irish things. Before we get into the video, just a quick reminder, do hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, also leave me a comment. Any engagement with this video helps me out so much. As I've said before, I can't be a real musician until you've done those things. Also, I have a slightly different setup today. I don't think you can tell, really it's just the microphone. At the moment I have moved my entire setup to a different room of my house because it's just much more cozier for working at the minute. I will move it back, but I realize that it doesn't make it very convenient for filming. So I'm filming with my little Rode mic today and not my usual Shure SM7B. So I hope this sounds okay. Fingers crossed this is all recording and, and all is well. I hope so. I left this down to charge for a few minutes just while I was getting ready, and when I picked it up again, it was a little wet. So I think it may have got a snoop boop from my little dog. So you've probably seen the news. Taylor Swift posted on her website something that none of us saw coming, that she is now the proud owner of the master recordings of her own songs. Albeit a little hard to read on a phone, it was beautifully written and, in true Taylor fashion, done her way. I've been bursting into tears of joy at random intervals ever since I found out that this is really happening. I really get to say these words. All of the music I've ever made now belongs to me. Why can't you see? You belong to me. That's Taylor singing to her songs now. Just some context on me and my Swiftiness, because I think that there's a few people who've watched my videos before and think that I'm a cringy, hardcore Swiftie. Now, you might think I'm cringe, that's completely fine. I make myself cringe all the time. But I would not agree that I am a die-hard, hardcore Taylor Swift fan. In fact, there's probably more of her music that I don't know compared to what I do know. All I know is what I do know, I like. Sure, I'll admit, I've had my moments. When the Eras tour was in Dublin, I was experiencing a lot of FOMO, and I think it was playing into my homesickness at the time. But I would consider myself somewhere in the middle. I think she's very talented. She's got some great songs. Folklore is my favorite album. I love the songs on it. It has more of a storytelling indie approach, which just suits my speed more, I think, compared to her pop hits. Although I do like some of her pop hits, I am biased though. I tend to prefer songs where I can hear more guitar. When I'm in a creative rut, I will stick on the Long Pond Sessions. That's one of my favorite pieces of media by Taylor Swift. The Long Pond Sessions really inspire me personally. Yes, the Eras tour is amazing and wonderful and inspiring and grand, but what really gets the hairs standing on the back of my neck is Taylor in a cozy studio with a guitar in her lap, her and a couple of musicians playing stripped back versions of the songs, her perfect vocals sounding under the ambient fairy lights. That is much more my speed. I do think it's great that she's been re-recording her albums. Amazing. But me personally, I've not really been waiting for the next one to drop. I think that's about where I lie in my fandom. I like her music a lot, I respect her as an artist and as a human being too, but not everything is my cup of tea. Also, when I get bored with my wardrobe, Taylor is who I turn to for fashion inspiration because, let's face it, she's always killing it. And yeah, you know what? Sometimes I get excited about the songs that I like. Sue me. But why does all of this matter? Why does this move on Taylor Swift's part potentially change the music industry going forward? I have some thoughts. Well, first of all, the music industry has always been changing. With the advancement of technology in the last few decades, the industry has been gradually changing. And of course, the internet and streaming has had a massive impact on how music is released. How it used to work, and still does, to be fair, is if you are a musician or an artist or a songwriter or whatever you are, and you want to make an album, the only way to do that is to be signed to a record label. That is your big break. You prove yourself to them, they invest in you, and then you can then use their resources and their infrastructure to make your music. The studio hours, the equipment, the other musicians that are going to play on the album, and also, prior to streaming, physically manufacturing the finished product, the vinyl or the CD. There wasn't a way for regular people to do any of that. Not to mention then the promoting. The label has the power to get you in front of more eyes so that more people know who you are. They can get you onto the major radio stations. They can get you supporting bigger artists so that hopefully at some point you can start to sell out your own shows. And hopefully if you continue to be successful, you can make more and more albums and it just takes off from there. Nowadays with the internet, anybody can just hit upload and put a piece of music out into the world. Of course, you are a tiny guppy in an ocean of music, so it doesn't necessarily make it any easier. So what happened with Tay Tay specifically? I'm going to give you a really quick backstory. For anyone who isn't in the know, there is a difference between owning a song and owning a recording. If you write a song, you own that song. It doesn't mean that you own the chord progression or any specific beats or phrases, but what you've crafted specifically using music and lyrics belongs to you. If you then record that song with a record company, traditionally, under the contract you signed, they own the recording of that song. Not the song itself, but the specific recording of it. And then that's the version that gets licensed, streamed, potentially used in films or TV shows, aka the version that earns all the money. That's why Taylor was just able to go and remake her songs, which I just love that whole thing. The fact that you have these people in the suits with all the power thinking that they have you in their grasp and you are at their mercy. Meanwhile, the free creative being can just say, hey, I'm just gonna go over here to my little corner and just, redo everything I did because I can. And you can't do anything about it, you untalented little Her record label at the time, Big Machine Records, sold their company to Scooter Braun's company, Ithaca Holdings. And the master recordings of Taylor's first 6 albums were included in the deal. Taylor's biggest issue with this was that she herself had been denied the opportunity to purchase the masters herself. And when the sale did happen, it happened without her knowledge. She was not considered in this process and she had to find out about it when it was posted online. The people who sold and bought the music were coming at it completely from a business perspective, and Taylor's coming at it from an artist perspective. They are selling her work, and yes, they do own it. Technically, that was the contract she signed in the beginning. But she was probably like, hey, so you're selling my catalogue that I created with you. Maybe you could just run that by me, see if I might be interested in buying them since I did make them. I think the fact that they didn't do that should tell you everything. I don't know, I'm on Taylor's side with this one. I understand that yes, they did own the masters. But these people all work together, right? Apparently. This is the music business after all. We have the artist and the label working together, allegedly. That includes Taylor. They're all working together to achieve a goal. Maybe I'm just being naive, and maybe I am. Okay. But I feel like that would have been the decent thing to do, to at least offer it to her. Hey, we're selling your masters. Would you like to buy them? It's not like she said no. They just were like, no, we're not selling to you. Speaks volumes, in my opinion. they knew exactly what they were doing. Scooter Braun, who now owned the masters, sold them on to Shamrock Capital in 2020, who Taylor has now bought the masters back from in May 2025. And for a disgusting amount of money, no doubt. Another win for the Shamrock. So how does this affect someone like me? Or you, if you are watching this and you're an independent musician? As someone who's an independent musician, yes, I call myself that now. The imposter syndrome is slowly fading. I look at my songs now and I think, of course, why wouldn't I own these? I made them with my own 2 hands and my own computer. Why wouldn't I have full control over them and what happens to them? I'm someone who's still quite new to this whole world, this world of releasing music on your own without a label or a team. It's quite overwhelming, I'll admit, but I'm learning. In fact, the other day I just posted for the first time a little teaser of an original song that will be on my debut EP that I'm hoping to release at some point later this year. A ramble in the field is what you need. Check it out if you haven't yet. I hope you like it. But I'm still in the process of learning to self-release and everything that comes with that process. It's daunting and it's scary, but I'm actually doing it and I'm actually learning through doing it. But this good news for Taylor Swift will affect the rest of us coming up after her. I don't think it will be the complete eradication of record companies. I do think they are valuable. I just think it's going to change things. It'll allow artists to be more aware of their rights, question the deals that are offered to them, have more legal knowledge and advocacy, and also be aware of the pitfalls that they could fall into. I think it will become the most important thing for artists. How important it is to retain control over what you create, no matter what. No matter what they tell us. Not the Boyzone song. If artists become more aware of these predatory contracts, hopefully these companies will stop making their contracts so flippin' predatory. I don't think record companies and labels are inherently bad. It's just that why do their contracts have to be so predatory and suspicious? I would hope that this shift will cause labels to actually change how they negotiate their contracts. When I was a younger musician, that was the dream, right? To be signed to a label. Now, I don't even think I want that anymore. And I'm very lucky to be living in a time where people hearing the music I make does not depend on a label. If I can build it all here on YouTube, why wouldn't I do that? I know it's possible because I've watched people like Mary Spender and Dodie also do it before me. Sure, it might take longer and a lot more hard work, but if I can remain in control of everything I make and everything I do, I don't think I could give that up for anything. My audience is small right now, but they're critty? You're critty. But they're pretty great and they're very supportive. And I'm grateful for that every day. Even when I find myself getting frustrated with numbers and wishing that things could grow quicker and more easily, I have to remind myself that I need to be grateful for what I do have, because I do have a lot of support and a lot of people excited about what I'm making, and that is what it's all about. The social media market nowadays is so oversaturated. It's really hard to get people to click on your stuff. And now we're in a time where people, instead of chasing a traditional label, they're actually just working themselves to build a niche audience. That's where the focus is, because nowadays the power is in the niche rather than trying to appeal to everyone. The music industry can be a scary place, and for women especially. They don't always see you as a valuable creative being. You are a product and an object that they can also use maybe for other reasons. And they can be very quick to discard you when you open your mouth, stand up for yourself, or God forbid, age. If you're around my age, you will remember the singer JoJo. Leave, get out right now. That song was my jam when I was a preteen. Ugh, So good. An example of a great pop song, I think, just side note. Who, by the way, JoJo was 13 when she recorded that song, or when it was released or something. 13! JoJo disappeared for years, with her fans wondering what happened to her. She just stopped releasing music. Turns out she was in a legal battle with her record company at the time, who had her in an extremely restrictive contract. She was completely tied up in it, preventing her from releasing music or even signing to a different label. She was completely stuck for years. She filed a lawsuit against Blackground Records in 2013, stating her case that because she was a minor when she signed the contract, which that on its own is crazy. Under New York law, she could not be bound to a personal service contract for more than 7 years as a minor. She got a settlement the following year and was then able to start releasing music again. She had never stopped writing songs and making music, she just wasn't allowed to put them out officially, which is crazy. It just goes to show the importance of legal advocacy. And also, because she was young, you know, that's kind of another conversation too, is parents. I don't know. It's a tough one. You want to support your kids' dreams, but having them sign contracts when they're 13 years old or younger is... It's kind of just maybe a topic for another day. I don't know. I believe she went back and re-recorded a couple of her earlier albums so that she would fully own the newer versions. And the final reason as to why I think all of this is important and it's going to change things going forward is that because Taylor is so famous, it's brought a lot of knowledge to the general public. Even if you're not directly involved in music, you're probably aware of this story in some capacity. You've probably heard about it at some point. I think that it's shifted the narrative in the eyes of the public, which is very powerful. And it will make fans and music consumers more likely to want to support artist-owned versions of songs. For the last few years, a lot of Swifties have expressed their guilt when listening to the first 6 Taylor albums. They of course want to listen to the music that they love, but also are torn because when they do that, when they buy or listen to any of the first 6 albums, they are not directly supporting Taylor. Now, I might be being a little too optimistic, and I might be being naive. That might be true. But what I would hope is that through this, it will make the public, people in general, want to support more independent artists. And it might mean that there's more of a demand for live shows and even physical media again. Who knows? I think we're moving... Hello. Who knows at this point? I think that we are moving into a time where independence and authenticity are finally being valued by the music makers and the music consumers. And I think that this is especially crucial right now with the rise of AI technology and how insane that's been getting, even in the last few months. It's really scary, which is a whole other topic, again, for a different day. But I think, and I hope, that we're on the verge of a revolution right now, that people will start to demand that art is made by humans and music needs to remain authentic. One really good thing that Taylor has done for a lot of the younger generation is that she's gotten them excited about listening to full albums. A long time ago, that used to be a thing. People used to sit down and listen to a record or even a CD back to back or cover to cover, for lack of a better phrase. Whereas that doesn't seem to be a thing much nowadays, and I'm guilty of this myself. It's something that I would like to improve on in my own life, is that I would like to listen to full-length albums again. I would like to be better at listening to albums in their entirety rather than just picking and choosing certain songs. With streaming, I think it's much easier to listen to music that way. You can just kind of pick and choose. But I feel like I'm missing out on so many potentially great favorite songs that I could have if I just would get in the habit of listening to things all the way through. I think, again, it comes back to the attention span thing. Finding time for this stuff is hard. I'd rather just listen to a song or two and find ones I like rather than actually deep diving into a piece of art, because that's what it's for. That's what it's made for. It's supposed to be doven? Is that a... supposed to be doven into. I don't know if that's a word. And consumed. And then you get to find out which tracks that are your favorites, but you're also aware of the other ones too. I'm of the opinion that Taylor, in her own mind, operates as an independent artist. You know, money and intense obsessive fame aside, at the end of the day, it is just her and the page. That's what it's all about for her at the end of the day. And it's always been that way since the beginning. So I will leave you with this comment that I saw on someone else's video. It was to do with the re-recording of Reputation, which I know a lot of people were invested in. It didn't really make a difference to me. I was going to be happy for her either way. If I can archive the comment, I will put it here. But the comment said that she didn't win a Grammy for Reputation, so she was going to make a better album.
I just need to make a better record.
Well, Reputation is a great record.
No, I'm making a better record.
And in the end, she couldn't outdo it. I love the idea that music can only be written in a specific time. And when you're in a specific mindset, that's the perspective you have. It's like trying to relate to a previous version of yourself and then realize you can't because you've grown and you've changed and you've overcome. And then you realize, oh, I'm not in that place anymore. I think that's what makes music so beautiful and so human, is that you can make something so specific to a point in time that you couldn't have written at a different time in your life, because that's the perspective you had in the moment. It's like taking a snapshot of that moment in time, like a photograph. When you recreate a photograph, it's still not the same as whatever you're trying to recreate. It's just like taking a snapshot of a moment in time. So I'm over the moon for Taylor, honestly. This is a huge win for musicians and songwriters all over the world. Some people like to pit creatives against each other, but music is not a competition. We are all one, so a win for one of us, even if she's at the very top, is a win for all of us. If a musician or a creative being has achieved something, then we've all achieved it, because it means it's possible. And we should always be inspired by each other. You should always have the right to own something that you made. So this one victory is a victory for all songwriters all around the world. But what do you think? Are you a musician navigating the world of self-releasing music too? If you are, I need to hear from you in the comments. Please let me know, because we're in the same boat, so maybe we can compare notes and help each other out. I would really appreciate it. Or are you a fan that just finds this whole thing fascinating? Let me know in the comments below. I want to thank you so much for watching this video if you watched it all the way through. I really do appreciate it. And again, if you did watch it all, please do hit the like button. I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe and hit the bell as well. That would support me so much. The whole point of this video, I am a smaller independent musician, and any engagement with this video will help it be pushed out into the algorithm more. It'll help people see my videos more and hopefully want to listen to my music. So if we can get more people, that's what this is all about. So look forward to more videos very soon. I am currently working on a cover of Video Killed the Radio Star by The Buggles. I don't think it will be done by the time you'll see this, but I'm still working on it. That was voted on by my members, so look forward to that coming very soon. And if you would like to support me, like my current members are very good at doing, I have a Patreon, a YouTube membership community, and I also have a merch store. Everything is linked in the description below. Also, I don't know, randomly recently, I have been live streaming Animal Crossing New Horizons on my gaming channel, which is also linked below. So if that sounds like something you'd like to do, I'd like to come and experience.
Now look at his butt! It's got a butt. He touched the butt.
Check that out down below as well. My gaming channel is like very much a hobby. I kind of do it in my free time when I feel like doing it. My music always comes first, but you just never know. You might be watching this and you might be like me, that you like music and video games, so and Animal Crossing. So come check that out if you would like to. I also recently covered Penny Lane by the Beatles. A lot of you really liked it. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out. I'll play you a quick snippet. It sounds like this. Again, thank you so much. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you again very soon in the next video. Bye!